Hi, I'm Martin Carabott, head chef here in the Velvet Tide. Today we're going to be cooking some dry aged Cumbrian beef using the knives from the Global Elements Fire Grill. So first we're going to start by using this long carving knife to remove the rib from the bones. The length of this is great because it just allows me to cut into the meat in long single swipes. So next I'm gonna clean this up a bit. So I'm just gonna remove the end, dry aged bits, put a little bit more, taking care not to take too much off. And then I'm gonna generate steaks. I would clean this up beforehand, but it's much easier doing it after. So next we're gonna remove the fat cap and also the rib cap, which runs along the outside of the eye into here, and just follow the ribeye. So next we're going to use a small serrated knife in order to cut out the fat to render down, and we infuse that with crushed garlic, thyme and rosemary, and use the seasoned fat to brush onto our meat after it's cooked. And using a serrated knife is great because you can just literally glide through it without dulling the blade. Okay, so next we're going to make a green peppercorn marinade. So here we have soy, some sushi vinegar or mirin, fresh green peppercorns or tinned, garlic, shallots, palm sugar, ginger and water. And for that we're going to be using the global paring knife and the small santoku knife. For the ginger, you can use a spoon. I'm just going to thinly slice half a shallot. Thinly slice the ginger. Thinly slice the garlic. It doesn't need to be precise because this is all going to be blended. Also palm sugar. Just break it down a bit for the blender. So green peppercorns, mirin, soy, and the water. And we're just going to blend that to a smooth paste. So next, tip our marinade over the beef. And we're just going to rest that for around 3 hours or overnight. So next we're going to make a salsa verde to go with our beef. I'm using this large knife. Start by chopping the herbs. This will help the blender. So just run through. We're going to blend them to a smooth paste using some olive oil, a pinch of salt, and a splash of Cabernet Sauvignon vinegar. So next to that, I'm going to start by dicing some pepper. I'm using this half serrated edge knife because it easily sticks into the pepper. Just glides across it. I'm going to remove the white pit and the seeds. Halve it, and then I'm going to cut it into ribbons. And lastly, I'm going to dice it small. Just put that in there. So next we're going to dice some green pepper and finally dice some shallots using this chef's knife. And I'm just going to dice these into half centimeter dice. So lastly, some finely chopped shallots. So ends off halving it to a very fine dice. A pinch of chili and a teaspoon of toasted cumin seeds. Just go into the mix. Check seasoning. Yeah, so next I'm going to use a small paring knife to prep some asparagus and some brassicas, green asparagus from the Wye Valley, and wild asparagus, sea arrowgrass, spigarello, which is a bitter green, and some tenderstem broccoli. I'm just going to snip off some of the stems and just removing these more fibrous dry ones. Just using the tip of the knife. Trim off the base. Then with the tenderstem broccoli, I'm just going to use a knife to trim off Some of the ones on the side, we'll still use them. Just want to make the main stem neat. Okay, so now I'm going to season the beef on both sides with sea salt and also our brassicas and asparagus. Just a little quick lemon dressing. Drizzle this all over the vegetables and this will help the salt bind to them. And now we're going to go to our barbecue to cook our meat and veg. Real hot grill and we're going to get the steaks on. Asparagus on. Okay, so the beef has just come off our barbecue. And this rested for 5 minutes as well. I'm just gonna brush it with some of its rendered fat, which we have infused with garlic, thyme and rosemary. For our brassicas and asparagus, we're just gonna dress them again with that lemon balsamic dressing. So now we're gonna go ahead and carve our beef. So we're just gonna trim the end off. A nice slice. Brush our beef with some of the rendered fat as well. Sea salt onto our plates. We're gonna start building the brassicas. We also have some leaves to finish. So some Tuscan kale, some like baby leaves. Enoki mushroom, which are just raw. I'm gonna dress them with that lemon balsamic dressing. So these go on. And we're gonna finish with some wasabi flowers, some allium flowers, and some garlic chives. So to finish the dish, we have the crushed herbs, which can go on the side, and then beef sauce made with all the trims and the rib cap, finished with some toasted pine nuts and some pickled wild garlic capers. And that's our dish of dry aged Cumbrian beef with barbecued brassicas and a salsa verde, made using knives from Global Elements Fire blog.